The idea of waiting for your muse is a fantasy. If you want to become great, or if you want to win, you don't have the luxury of time. This life is player versus player. If you want to win your Valorant games, get a speedrun world record, or even just PB, you need to work harder than everyone else. Or at least harder than you worked last time. I'm sure some of you can relate to sitting in class fantasizing about all the things you're gonna do as soon as you get home. Or lying in bed restless as a surge of motivation fills your bones. For some reason though, once you sit down at your desk, your motivation vanishes into thin air. If only you could get to work or start practicing at the snap of your fingers. Then you would accomplish your goals much sooner. We all know what procrastination is, but the issue here is that most people don't understand the inner mechanisms of how it works, nor quite how detrimental it can be. Procrastination is suppressing the potential you know you have. And even if you recognize this is happening, you may have no idea how to stop it. Well, I hope by the end of this video, that's no longer the case. Together, we can learn exactly what procrastination is, how it works, and some key strategies for overcoming its allurement. Procrastination is killing your gains. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is right now. Ancient Chinese proverb. Some of you might think you've got your procrastination under control or on a tight leash. Maybe you put off a homework assignment for just one day, take out the trash the next morning instead of at night, or practice your Valorant aim every other day, even though you know it's better to practice every day. The truth is that procrastination in all forms is destructive. Delaying action, regardless of the action, puts you in a worse position to succeed. Now, maybe when it comes to taking out the garbage, your goal probably isn't to be the best and most punctual garbage taker-outer, but we all have houses with garbage that needs to be taken out. By delaying any action, it's harder to achieve your goals, even if only slightly. And the serious harm starts to happen when you procrastinate on tasks directly tied to your goals. If your goal is to become a professional Valorant player, each day you decide to browse YouTube shorts instead of aim train is a day someone else gunning for your spot might have decided to practice. The military strategist and United States Air Force Colonel, John Boyd, created a concept known as the OODA loop. OODA stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act. And Boyd said whoever traverses the loop faster wins. At the time, Boyd may have been talking about flying fighter jets and doing loop-de-loops or barrel rolls and that shit, but the idea behind the OODA loop rings true for all aspects of life. You must observe the world around you, orient yourself to its conditions, and decide on the best course of action. Act on your decision as soon as possible. Observe the results of your action, orient yourself to the new environment, and make another decision on what to do. Act based on your new decision, observe the results, and so forth. If you can observe, orient, decide, and act over and over again faster than everybody else, you will win. Procrastination halts your progress through the loop. You decide on a course of action, but you don't act on it. Every second you procrastinate is a second you're giving away. That second you give away might be the one that leads to your defeat. It doesn't matter if you aren't competing against others. You are always competing against yourself. Once you've decided what to do, you must act as soon as possible. Your decision may not be perfect, but you must make one and act on it, so you can observe the outcomes, orient yourself to them, and make your next decision. Whether you procrastinate for an hour, a day, a month, or years, it doesn't matter. Even The Rock knows it doesn't matter. It always has a negative impact. Act right now, today, right now. Don't procrastinate even a little bit, or it might just be the little bit that leads to your demise. Procrastination, more complex than you think. Procrastination is like masturbation. It feels good, but really, you're just fucking yourself. Michael McCarthy, American football coach. Procrastination is a universal struggle that leads to copious amounts of wasted time. You may have a million ideas, or passion as intense as the sun, but you just can't seem to sit down and get to work. Almost everyone deals with this problem. But once you understand procrastination and start recognizing it, you'll exponentially increase your output. You may never kill the beast, but by implementing a few key strategies, you can turn it from a roaring tiger into a house cat. That alone is enough to beat everyone else still wrestling with the tiger. Procrastination is the act of delaying a task that you know you have to do. You know you should do an hour of deathmatch every day to improve your aim in Valorant, but you don't do it. You know you need to take the trash out because there's comical green smoke emerging from your trash can, but you don't do it. The key lies in understanding why you won't do it. Most people believe there's only one kind of procrastination, when in reality there's two. When you procrastinate, you are either putting off a task because you really want to do something else, or because you have a strong aversion to doing the task at hand. In one scenario, you just bought Elden Ring, so there's no way you're gonna spend an hour aim training when you could explore Godric Castle instead. In another, your trash is covered in flies, overflowing, and smells like a leaking septic tank. So there's no way you're going anywhere near that trash can. These are very different thought processes, and the way you combat them is wildly different. However, in either case, the first step is always the same: recognition. The best way to stop the hypnosis of procrastination is to make a habit of calling yourself out whenever you're doing it. Recognize when you're putting off a task and say out loud, I'm procrastinating X because of Y. I'm not practicing Valorant because I want to play Elden Ring. Or, I'm not writing my magnum opus because I'm worried that when I start to write, I'll realize I have no talent and I'm actually just a phony, worthless piece of shit who has no idea what they're doing and doesn't deserve any recognition at all. Or, whatever the case may be for you. You can't treat procrastination if you don't know it exists. Far too many people choose to dig their heads in the sand or hide behind bullshit excuses like, I'm just taking a break, or I'll get more work done if I eat, sleep, jerk off, shit, shower, jerk off again, eat again, and meditate first. It's all bullshit. You don't need to do all this extra garbage. What you must do is take action. If you are the rare person who does work too hard and truly needs a break, you know who you are. But everyone else, quit your lollygagging, admit when you're procrastinating, and you can finally start to do something about it. Overcoming the impulse. Just do it. Shia LaBeouf. You need to aim train, practice Owlus, solo queue competitive, or read the holy book of our supreme Dark Lord Cthulhu. But man, you really just want to play Minecraft with your friends instead. As we said before, the first thing you must do is admit, I need to read the holy book of Cthulhu, but I'm procrastinating because I really want to play Minecraft with my friends. When there's a separate desire causing you to procrastinate, you must realize your brain is deceiving you. You do not have a longing for Minecraft. Well, maybe you do, but in this case, you just have a momentary impulse to play with your friends. Your brain wants to keep you safe. It doesn't want you to do anything difficult. Your brain's trying to coerce you into a comfortable state of being. In this case, playing Minecraft with the boys. If you enlighten yourself to your brain's deception, you may be able to overcome this impulse. Luckily, your brain is like France. It's real quick to surrender. If you disregard your momentary impulses in favor of meaningful work, your brain will throw in the towel and acclimate to whatever environment you put it in. Simply make the decision to do your task for just 5 or 10 minutes. Once you sit down and start reading the Book of Cthulhu, or practicing your aim, or grinding your speedrun, you will quickly forget about your previous desire as you were engrossed in the teachings of the Dark Lord, or star collecting and mountain climbing. Maybe you aren't obsessed with Elden Ring or Minecraft. Maybe you're procrastinating because the task you have to do is very difficult. You don't want to write your college essay because there's so much work to do, it's overwhelming. You don't want to call and make a doctor's appointment because you're a 21st century pussy with no social ability. The great Roman philosopher Seneca famously said, "We suffer more from imagination than reality." The task at hand is likely far less intimidating than you believe it to be. If you want to kickstart yourself into action, create a small goal for yourself. Something simple like, I'm gonna analyze my task and write a to-do list. Or if your task takes less than 5 minutes, tell yourself that you can endure anything, even fucking torture, for 5 minutes. A phone call, taking out the trash, or approaching your crush is nothing compared to what you could withstand. If you decide to complete your 5-minute task here and now, at the end of that 5 minutes, you'll realize there was nothing to fear in the first place, and you'll be thankful you just did it. Conclusion. Procrastination is ruining the potential you know you have. However, now that you know what to do, nothing can stop you. Recognize when you're procrastinating, identify why, and apply the proper techniques to overcome your silly impulses. Remember this, we are the sum of all of our thoughts. We can think ourselves into a man of focus, into a hard worker, into a man on a mission. Or we can think ourselves into despair, fear, and worry. If you know what you must do and why you want to do it, nothing can truly stop you. Disregard any mental pelts and foolish bits of procrastination by applying the techniques we've learned and by rising to the standards you create for yourself.